Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Planescape Torment. Alright, let's go ahead and see what else we can do. There's someone named Iron Nails down here we can talk to. Hello. This broad-shouldered woman is shuffling about amongst the huge beams lying in the street. She kicks at the beams with iron-shod boots. Every once in a while, she bends down and wrenches a nail from one of the boards with her bare hands. She holds each one up, appraising it, then drops it into a leather sling bag. Hello. She straightens up, hearing your approach. She's smiling politely, but from her stance and the way her hand rests close to the hilt of her weapon, you can tell she's ready for trouble. You notice one of her eyes has a milky film over it. That's close enough there, Cutter. What do you need from me? I just had some questions. She nods. Ask away, then. Who are you? She pulls 3 nails from her sling bag, tossing them spinning into the air and catching them in her palm. Iron nails, they call me. She drops them back into her bag with a muffled clink. Why are you collecting the nails? I sell them to a man named Hamris in the lower ward. Maker of coffins, he is. Tell me more of this Hamris. There's not much to say. He's a bit chatty. He'll rattle his bone box till you bar me if you let him. But a fair bargainer. He needs the nails. I need the jink, and that's about as far as it goes. Where's the lower ward? I used to know the way, I did, but the Dabbas have changed the streets round again. Don't know how to get there now. I'll need to chart a new path, but I figure the Dabbas will straighten things out eventually. Does anyone else here scavenge nails? She grins and shakes her head. No one was clever enough or had the will to do it before me, and I've shoved off anyone who's tried to jump me claim since. She pats her long-bladed knife hanging at her side lovingly. Your claim? Aye, that's what I call it. Honest labor's hard to come by in the hive, and I'm not about to let some sodden piker peel me off of me work. I've sent more than one Burke running, howling, holding their guts in, or off with the collectors if they were unlucky. Her dead eye gleams maliciously. The hive knows the spot as iron nails, it does. I had some other questions. I don't think it would be a good idea to ask her about her eye. I'm looking for a man named Ferret. She nods. I heard the name. I have. Head of a pack of collectors, or so I hear it. Not sure where a body to find him, though. You may want to try Ragpicker Square. It's north and west of here. A whole mess of collectors call Kip there. Okay. And some other questions. I'm looking for a journal I've lost. Have you seen one? Nay, I have not. She pauses for a moment. You know, that's a good idea. It is a journal. Mayhap I should start one of my own. Yes, it is. It's amazing how much one can forget. A journal can help you hold on to your memories. She mulls over what you've said. You're right. You're right indeed, Cutter. I'll do it. Thank you for the idea. Alright, it's nothing. Farewell. Fare you well too, then, Cutter. Alright, goodbye. And I've healed another point. A few harlots, a few thugs. Ash Mantle, hello. You see a dustman in long black robes and a pale face. Unlike the dustman you saw in the mortuary, however, this man looks confused and is glancing about as if looking for something. When he spots you, he raises his hand to attract your attention. Howdy! The man seems relieved that you are speaking to him. He bows slightly. Thank you for hearing me, traveler. I am known as Ashmantle, one of the Dustman sect. I was wondering if you could direct me. I don't know the area very well, and I'm looking for a certain establishment, a bar, that those of my sect frequent. Do you know of such a place? Sect? You're a Dustman. Don't you mean faction? Oh, the Dustman Bar. It's by the mortuary. Orient yourself by the mortuary front gate, then walk directly southwest. You can't miss it. Sect? You're a Dustman. Don't you mean faction? The Dustman nods. Well, yes, faction. I meant faction. Sect, faction. They are much the same thing. Really? Do you happen to know of this bar that my faction frequents? I wonder if this guy is not on the level. I've heard of it. I'd be willing to help you if you'll answer some questions for me. He nods. Your request is reasonable. Tell me where I might find the Gathering Dust Bar, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Well, alright, we'll be truthful. The bar you want is by the mortuary. Orient yourself by the mortuary front gate, then walk directly southwest. You can't miss it. The dustman smiles. Thank you very much, traveler. I appreciate your kindness. The people of the Hive are rarely helpful in such matters. Tell me about it. Say, can I ask you some questions? What questions do you have? I'm looking for a man named Ferret. Do you know of him? I'm sorry, but that name is not known to me. Okay, I had some other questions. I'm looking for a missing journal. Do you know where I might find one? I do not know where one might find such a thing. I mourn its loss. Really? I thought dustmen didn't value possessions. The man shrugs slightly. I am not without sympathy for your loss. There are many things of value in one's life. You have unusual views for a dustman. The man blinks. Well, I am not a common dustman. I'm gathering that. Who are you? The man nods a little uncomfortably. Why, I am Ashmet, one of the Ninth Circle. But Ninth Circle? There is no such thing. He suddenly tenses up. I don't have time to debate the practices and rankings of the Dustman sect with you. If you'll excuse me. Who are you really? Ashmantle suddenly takes off running. I knew I should have grabbed his hand. Damn it! Alright, Mort. He's an enemy. Let's kill him. Also, okay, so there's a Miram there that we should talk to once we catch up with this guy. Don't get pissy on me, Hive Thugs. Good. You're gonna get away, aren't you? Nope. Come back here. I like how the frightened frightened hive dweller is just wandering around happy as can be. Alright, so we got a copper earring and a jagged knife. Alright. Well, I think he was a bad person. Let's see. This old woman stands silently by the wall, staring off into the distance. She seems to be unconcerned with the flow of traffic around her, and clutches a wooden pole from which dozens of small fish are dangling. Howdy!
Oh, lo, sir.
She squints at you for a moment, trying to discern your identity.
Oh, my! Yeah, I was thinking you're one of my regular customers.
She prefers her fishbowl.
Tuna, sir? Mackerel? Sea cucumber?
No, but do you have Haley's eel? No fish, thanks. I had some questions. Her mouth presses down into a tight-lipped frown, and she stares off over your shoulder. I'll look behind me, see what she's staring at. You can see nothing of interest behind you. As you turn back to her, you catch her looking at you. She looks away quickly, resuming her staring off into the distance once more. What, do I look familiar to you? Ooh, sorry about that.
Goodness, no.
She pauses for a moment.
Aye, you do.
Have you seen me before, then?
I think you're a man with your very likeness, sir. 'Twas so long ago.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, sir, you see, me sight's not so good now. 'Twasn't back then, neither, but I thought I saw you walking past with a small group trailing along behind you.
What did these people look like?
It's hard to say, sir. 'Twas so long ago, and you walked by so quick-like. But I remember now, the way you had your head up, there was a woman following you, trying to stop you. To get you to turn around and speak to her, but you pushed her away.
What happened then?
Beautiful woman she was, looked so sad, so angry all at once. She stood there for a moment, then followed along behind you just the same, hustling to catch up.
You said there was a group. Who else was there? She shrugs.
There were at least 2 other gentlemen with you, sir. The only one I remember too clearly, though, was tall, thin, reeked of bub. He did. I smelled him from across the way. Looked like he hadn't bathed in ages, too. He followed you close, and he did, and never said a word, acted like the woman wasn't even there, even when she bumped against him, trying to stop you. That's all I remember, sir.
Alright, here, have a few coppers. How much do you give the fishwife? You know what? I've got a lot. And I can get more easily from the thugs. She stares at the heaping handful of coins for a moment, as if unsure what to do. You hold them a bit closer, and she finally takes them, laughing uneasily.
Oh my. Why, thank you, sir. May the lady's shadow pass you over, and fortune always find ye. Please come and visit me anytime.
Thanks, farewell. There's a lot of black Abishai around here. This monument looks similar to the one outside the mortuary. There are no identifying marks on it either. And there's a Creedon here. Hello? Are you from Creedon Clearwater Revival? No. Sorry, bad joke. This foul-looking man is quick to notice he's caught your attention. In moments, he's upon you, hawking his wares. He carries a long wooden pole. Dozens of skinned and cooked rats dangle from it. As he speaks, he gestures to them with a broad, filth-encrusted hand, smiling a yellowed, snaggle-toothed grin all the while. Oi, Cutter! How are you doing there? What sort of delicious ratsies is you interested in this fine day? I'd rather eat offal. That's... what sort of... let's examine the ratsies first. Each rat has been skinned and gutted, their feet and tails removed. They dangle from the pole by hooks punched through their necks. As you examine the various manners in which they've been prepared, you realize their heads are slightly misshapen. A bulbous knot of bone protrudes from each cranium, covered in whorls that give the appearance of brain tissue. Ah, cranium rats. Those are strange-looking rats. Aye, you got a keen eye there, Cutter. All I sell is brain vermin, I do. I'm sure you'll find they've got much richer flavor than your usual rat. Quite nice, really. He proffers them to you once more, waving the pole before your face enticingly. The rats sway to and fro, hooked like tiny sides of beef. Interesting. I had a question for you. I don't think I want to buy any of these. He shoulders his rat pole casually. What's your question, Cutter? What is that building there behind you? He tosses a glance over his shoulder. That's the Office of Vermin and Disease Control, Cutter. I sell my rat tails there for jink, then cook the little blighters up and sell them. Someone pays for the tails of those rats? That's right, Cutter. There's a Burke in the Office of Vermin and Disease Control, name a Lort, who pays a bounty for him. Copper head, or tail, that is, eh? But they gotta be brain vermin, they do, not just ordinary rats. Tell me about this Lort fellow. His name's Phineas Lort. I think he was some sort of high up. He was put down by his rivals and stuck in the air on the arse end of Sigil. And the Burke sits in there alone all the night and day, it seems, waiting for folk to bring in tails and paying them the bounty. You know the best part? Poor sod must be allergic to rats, because he's always got a huge rash going. Oh, powers be praised, I ain't that fella. Yeah, I was wondering when they were going to get to using the term Burke, because I hadn't heard that, and it was quite popular in the published material for Planescape. Not always the best thing to go looking up and realizing what that comes from, by the way. It's like Cockney rhyming slang. I'll leave it at that. You can look it up yourself. Sigil? Aye, Sigil, the cage. What were you looking to know, Cutter? Where is this place exactly? Where isn't it, Cutter? Since Sigil touches everywhere, and I mean that, I do, there's really no place it ain't. Not sure if it really does exist somewhere in the typical sense of the word. In one place, I mean. Most bloods will tell you it lies in the Outlands, though. The Outlands? Aye, Cutter, that's right. It's the so-called center of the plains, where Sigil lies. Here's my trouble with that now. If you're in Sigil, you can't get out without using a magical door. There's no normal way to get out of the place and into the Outlands. Go on. Right, and if you're outside of Sigil in the Outlands now, you can't walk into Sigil. It's just this endless spire of rock poking up through the clouds from the center of the Outlands that Sigil's supposed to spin around on top of. Yes, continue. He nods. Now tell me, Cutter, if you can't walk out of Sigil into the Outlands, or out of the Outlands and into Sigil, who's to say it physically exists anywhere, really? He nods sagely, pleased with his little quandary. I think Sigil's spread out across all the plains, both everywhere and nowhere at once. Perhaps. I had some other questions, however. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? Aye, the Mistress of Sigil. I don't talk about the lady, Cutter, and you shouldn't go asking about her neither. It'll bring ill luck on you if it will. He makes a semicircular sign over his chest. Alright, let me ask you something else then. Do you know someone named Farad? He looks a bit surprised. Ferret? Why'd I gotta be looking for a man like that? It's a long story. I just need to find him. He's the head of a pack of collectors, he is. Moves about all the time, probably to avoid trouble. Calls someplace in Ragpicker Square, his case, most likely. He's a right crafty fellow, the Ferret. A cutter'd best watch himself around that fellow. Alright, I had some other questions. I know where the other thing. I know what the other things are. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one? Sorry, Cutter. Can't say that I've seen one of those about. Alright. I'll keep looking then. Farewell. He touches your arm. I see you're leaving, Cutter. But before you go, would you like a nice, delicious ratsy? One for the road, you might say? No thanks. Farewell. Well,
I'm gone.
Let's go ahead and check this.
Forced it.
We can get rags and junk. No one appears to care. Some more junk. I'm sure I'll be able to sell this junk at some point, right? Maybe the rags. Phineas T. Lort, the 39th. You see a squat man with rash-covered skin and several pustules covering his face. His clothes seem to mark him as some sort of an official, but they are dirty, wrinkled, and covered with rat hair. As you watch, he idly scratches himself with his stubby fingers. Howdy! Ah! The little man shrieks and jumps, startled. Clutching his heart, he takes a deep breath and pushes his spectacles up on his rash-ridden nose. Yes. And what is it that I can do for you? He scratches his nose and looks at you up and down, studying your scars. I have little to nothing in the till, so if you've come to plunder the premises, the locale is ill-chosen. I'm not here to plunder the premises, after all I already have. Who are you? I am the respected Phineas T. Lort, the 39th, in charge of this hive branch of the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. It is my distinguished privilege, he scratches his chest and puffs up, to inform you that we, in the bureaucratic sense of the word we, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, are accepting bounties on all manner of vermin and strays that infest the, he scratches again, fair streets of Sigil, hub of the multiverse, and the city which sits at the center of all things, the city by which all other cities are measured. I thought that was Waterdeep. Bounties?
Updated my journal.
Yes, we in the bureaucratic sense of the word, we, meaning to encompass the sigil bureaucracy as a whole, we are accepting tangible proof of the eradication of brain vermin, a.k.a. cranium rats, from the hive area where they have clustered quite thickly for the past many years. As a recent consensus of the vermin population has shown... recent consensus? Census, I'm sorry. I'm empowered by the Sigilian bureaucracy to pay a bounty of, he puffs up dramatically, 1 copper common per cranium rat delivered to my branch office. Cranium rat? Cranium rats are a species of vermin that become more intelligent the more of them there are in close proximity to each other. 1 cranium rat alone is but a nuisance that chews at boards and burrows into food. But 5, 10, or more, and their intelligence grows until it surpasses even the intelligence of one such as myself. Scratches, then sniffs disdainfully. I imagine that 2 or 3 cranium rats might be enough to outwit you, sir. Another comment like that and you'll be wearing your ass as a hat. No. How many cranium rats are in Sigil? More than enough to last a bounty hunter a lifetime, perhaps several. And your questions would be? How did someone as illustrious as you end up in such a place? Well, it is quite an epic tale, you see. I was born here in Sigil. A day passes. You have rested for 8 hours. Oh, that's awesome. And then I realized that I had somehow offended my colleagues, for I found myself promoted to this branch office and have remained here for these past many years. He sighs and idly scratches his nose. I had some other questions. I see. Well, thanks for your time. Farewell. Can I go through here? The door is locked. You will need a key. I'll poop. Well, at least it's daytime.
I'm gone.
Alright, well, let's look around a bit for more people that we can talk to. Crier of Es-Anon. Streams of tears have carved channels down this man's dust-covered face. He looks to be a monk or a holy man of some sort, but the dirt covering his body makes it nearly impossible to see the man beneath. He is chanting and rolling his head back and forth. It looks like some sort of ritual. Howdy! The man stops his frenzied chanting and glares at you with his tear-rimmed eyes. He opens his parched mouth to speak, but all he can manage is a withered croak. What's wrong? Why are you crying? His voice is so hoarse that it sounds like he has been without water for days. As you watch, a tear trickles down his face. I am a crier of Es-Anon. Es-Anon? Who is that?
Updated my journal.
Who is Es-Anon? The man throws back his head and gives a rasping laugh. It sounds brutal and defeated. Es-Anon, it is not a man but a city. Why do you cry for a city? We cry its name because Es-Anon must not be forgotten. So, in other words, remember the Es-Anon. All the criers of Es-Anon carry this burden. You mourn a city? Why do you do such a thing? Because its name is all that remains, its avenues of light, its great spiraling parks. When it was laid waste and reduced to memory, only 70 of its people survived. It was our duty to see that its name was remembered across the plains. Many criers of Es-Anon have died for the sake of remembering. Many. If it places you and the others at risk, why don't you stop? The tears I shed, the dust that cloaks me, these things are as nothing compared to what awaits should I give up my sacred burden. We must see to it that its name is remembered. We are living memorials to its passage. If that's so, then what happens if you all die? A fresh tear springs to the crier's eye. Even his dust-caked face cannot disguise his look of despair. I do not know. We criers of Es-Anon cannot mourn it forever. Even now the dust clings to our robes. The spit dries in our mouths, our bodies wither and die. Is there any way I could help you? You are kind to ask, the crier shakes his head. Unless you can immortalize Es-Anon, there is no place to be had. Must it be immortalized by a man? Would a tombstone serve? The crier blinks. Tombstone? It's a stone that records a man's name, his life, and a eulogy. If it serves a man, could it not also serve a city that has died? Stones may do such things? Yes, and their lifetime is much longer than a man's. If its name was carved on stone, would Es-Anon's memory be served? The man pauses. Would others see this name? Yes, it would be there for all to see, long after you have died. The man nods. If such a thing were possible, he turns to you. Where would one find such a stone? I could go look for one. If I find one, I could see to it that Es-Anon's name is carved upon it. You would do this? Aye. The man's eyes water up again. You would be setting all the criers of Es-Anon free. But a score of us remain. The burden of remembering would be over after so many years. I would do so. I will return when the name is carved.
Updated my journal.
Okay. Don't know what I will... Seriously, buddy? Alright, Mort. Do your thing. Now I'll get involved.
Damn.
You know, I just realized that Mort's head is really, really big. I'll take that. I'll take that. Ah, Mort took a point of damage. Oh, noes. These guys suck. They really do. That was 1 to 3 damage, so it's probably not worth keeping, really. I thought I picked up something that I would give to him. Yeah, whatever.
I'm gone.
Alright, there's a door over here. No. Go in. There we go. You're gonna get pissy at me if I steal this stuff, aren't you? Well, you don't have anything to steal, so whatever.
All right.
Alright, well, let's see what this is. Braskin, hello? In a loud, booming voice, Braskin asks, "What in the name of the abyss are you doing in my house? Leave now before I make you even more ugly than you already are." Alright, fine, be that way, jeez. Actually, there might have been, stuff I can
All right.
check out. Nope. Nope. Never mind, then. Alright, well, we can see better now. Can't actually go this way, huh? This huge box appears to double as a podium. A crude wooden cart looks like it would fall apart if anyone tried to use it. Was there anything else that I missed here? I don't think so. These barrels are empty. The hoops binding them, binding the wood, are almost completely rusted through. This bench looks like it is ready to collapse. Alright, let's see where this goes. Alley of Dangerous Angles. This could be bad. Razor Angel. Oh, Dangerous Angels? This alley dweller greets you with exaggerated politeness and a deep bow. "Greetings, stranger. You've chosen a auspicious day to pass through our lands. The toll be a mere 10 coins. 10 coins? That's outrageous. No, it's bluff. I've already paid that. The Razor Angel looks you in the looks off into the shadows for a moment, makes a hand sign, and shakes his head at you. "No, you haven't. This is the last warning you'll get. 10 coins or the cold earth." Well, try to take them from me. This could go badly. Maybe not. Doesn't appear to have anything, though. Ooh, did I just critical hit? I did. Got another Razor Angel coming in. You know what?
Done.
Mort, you're gonna totally tank for me now. Oh, hello. I'll take that. Dang it, don't hit me for a point of damage. It's rude. Oh, 3 points of damage. It's rude. Terrible. There we go. And a Clot Charm. These are pretty common. Another one. Am I, biting? Oh, my lord. Am I biting off more than I can chew? I might be.
Damn it.
Well, let's go ahead and use that right now.
Die.
Looks like death's come for the bill.
What? Well, that,
Feel all stiff.
That went less well than I expected. I apparently don't lose any money when I do that, but I would rather not. Yeah, I was about there. Or no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was right here. Alright. When we come back, probably won't go back up there. Maybe wait until we are a little bit higher level.
All right.
Let's go ahead and check down here again real fast. 'Cause there's still some stuff that we haven't looked at over here. This looks like an entrance, but there is no handle or means of opening it. Alright, so there's a way off the map that way. So I think that's probably where we'll go next time. So I shall see you then.